Okay, so first of all, let's introduce to you the array data structure. So array may be a collection of things in a single type. So on illustration will be this one. This one is an array of the integers as you can see in this screen. And this one is an array of a string like hi, greet, welcome. An array has two types, a single dimensional and a multi-dimensional. The first subscript denotes the number of rows and the second subscript denotes the number of columns. So it's not regular for an array to have a multiple types. And it's not normal for us to have something like this one, kung saan magkahalo na yung string tsaka integers niya, di ba? Type. So this idea is to store multiple things of the same type together. An array is a data structure used to process multiple elements with the same data type. So it means, ito ay ginagamit upang iproseso ang maraming elements that has same data type when a number of such elements are known or kilala, di ba? Like for example, if we create a program o nagko-code tayo, di ba? We always input the identifying keys. Ano nga ba yung identifying keys? Like for example, yung short for integers, lalagay tayo ng int para ma-determine agad ito ni array. Like for example, if an array is of type of int, it can only store integer elements like numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and cannot allow the elements of other types such as double, float, char, and etc. And array provides a powerful feature at maaring magamit upang bumuo ng komplikadong istruktura ng tulad ng mga stack at queue. Sa nga ba na, minsan nakikita itong queue, minsan sa Gmail natin kapag hindi nagsasend, di ba? An array can be defined as an infinite collection of homogeneous, similar type elements. Nangangahulugan ito ng isang array ay maaaring mag-imbak or mag-store ng alinman sa lahat ng integer, lahat ng floating point na numero. So, lahat ng character or anumang iba pang komplikadong uri ng data. But it always is stored in consecutive memory locations. Ibig sabihin ay magkakasunod. And for further information, will be discussed in this next video.
Hello, I am Dr. James Catalogo from BSCS 3IDM. Today I'm gonna show you how to use the use of array to store, sort, and search the list of or list or table of values. Declaring array. An array is a special variable which can hold more than one value at a time. So array is used to store multiple values in one single variable. For example, if you have a list of items, list of car names, storing the cars in a single variable could look like this. As you can see here, we got three variables here called car1, car2, car3. Now, since array is a special variable that can hold more than one value at a time, it should be like this. We get a variable named cars and it holds three values at a time. And if you print out, the output will be the values, three values. Next, sorting array. Sorting means putting elements in an ordered sequence. Ordered sequence is a sequence that has an ordered corresponding to elements, like numeric or alphabetical, ascending or descending. For example, here we get variable name fruits equals to cherry, apple, and banana. And we use the sort method to sort the list ascending by default. As you can see here, the first value is Apple. Since it's begin in A, it will sort alphabetically. And for the numbers, it will sort numerically, starting 0. Next is searching array. You can search an array for a certain value and return indexes that get a match. For example, here is we get a variable named fruits is equal to apple, banana, and cherry. Then x, I'm gonna create new variable named x equals to fruits. And then we are going to use index method. So index methods returns the position at the first occurrence of the specified value. So we use the value named cherry and then print x. Then we get the index 2, the output 2, which is the index, which is its index.
So, what is a Python array? Python array is a data structure that holds similar data values at contiguous memory locations. So, when compared to a list or dynamic arrays, Python arrays stores the similar type of elements in it, while a Python list can store elements belonging to a different data types in it. There are three methods in initializing an array. So, the method 1, using for loop and Python range function. Python for loop and range function together can be used to initialize an array with a default value. So the syntax for it is open bracket value for element in range, open parenthesis none, close parenthesis, close bracket. So Python range function accepts a number as argument and returns a sequence of numbers which starts from 0 and ends by the specified number incrementing by 1 each time. Python for loop would place 0 or default value for every element in the array between the range specified in the range function. For example, ARR is equal to open and close bracket. ARR is equal to open bracket 0 for I in range, open parenthesis 5, close parenthesis, close bracket. Print open parenthesis ARR, close parenthesis. So, we have created an array ARR or R and initialize it with 5 elements carrying a default value which is 0. So the output will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Next method is Python NumPy module to create an initialized array. Python NumPy module can be used to create arrays and manipulate the data in it efficiently. The numpy.empty function creates an array of a specified size with a default value equals to none. So the syntax is numpy.empty open parenthesis size, comma, d type is equal to object, close parenthesis. For example, import numpy as empty, ARR is equal to empty.empty, open parenthesis 10, comma, d type is equal to object, close parenthesis, print, open parenthesis, ARR, close parenthesis. So the output will be 10 none or none, 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 none. The last method is direct method to initialize Python array. While declaring the array, we can initialize the data values using the below command. Array name is equal to open bracket default value close bracket times size. For example, ARR underscore num is equal to open bracket 0 close bracket times 5. Print open parenthesis ARR underscore num close parenthesis. ARR underscore STR is equal to open bracket quotation mark P quotation mark close bracket times 10 print open parenthesis ARR underscore STR close parenthesis. As in the example, we created two arrays with the default value as 0 and P along with the specified size with it. So the output will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, P, 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 P. So access the elements of an array. We refer to an array element by referring to the index number. So you can access the element of an array by indexing. For example, cars is equal to open bracket double quote Ford, double quote, comma, double quote Volvo, double quote, comma, double quote BMW, double quote, close bracket. X is equal to cars, open bracket 0, close bracket, print X. This will get the value of the first array item. So the output will be void.
So explain the basic sorting technique. So first, sorting as an array means to arrange the elements in the array in a certain order. Various algorithms have been designed that the sort arrays using different methods. Some of these sorts are more useful than the others in certain situations. So yung sorting array po is if yung ano daw natin yung array na given po natin sa program natin is hindi siya naka-sort or hindi siya naka-arrange from certain order, i-arrange niya po 'yan. And ito po yung ibang example ng array. Internal and external sorting. Internal sorting means that all of the data that is to be sorted in store memory while sorting is in process. So, yung sa internal sorting po is yung all data daw po na yan is mag-stored siya sa memory while nasa sorting process po siya. For example, yung binigay sa atin is descending order siya. So, descending order siya. So, yung ano po natin, yung sa internal storage po is magpe-paste na magsisave lang po siya, mag-store lang po siya sa memory once na yung ibang number po is nasa proper sorted. Kunyari yung nasa 1, yung 1 is nasa proper place na, yung 2 nasa proper place hanggang so on so forth. External sorting means that all of the data is stored outside the memory like on disk. So dito naman po yung external sorting so yung sa internal sorting daw po is like on disk, ganon. So parang ano po siya, tawag dito, yung out of the, kumbaga sa ano po, out of the box, hindi siya wala siya sa system. Pwede siyang i-copy sa ibang lugar para pwede mo siyang i-store sa ibang lugar bukod pa sa database, gano'n. Stability of sorting. A sorting algorithm is said to be stable if two objects are equal keys appear in the same order in the sorted output as they appear in the inserted output. So, yung sa yung sa stability of sort, yung una, pag nasabi dito is said to be stable if two objects are with equal keys appeared in the same order. So kapag same order daw po siya, magpapakita po sila sa unassorted input. Then, a sorting algorithm is said to be unstable if there are two or more objects with equal keys don't appear in the same order before and after sorting. So, yung sa ano po, yung sa first, magpapakita po siya kapag may two objects na magpapakita po pag may two equal keys. Then, sa next naman is hindi siya magpapakita kapag walang same order, same keys na nakita dun sa sorting order. Bubble sort. Bubble sort is a simplest for sorting algorithm that works by repeatedly swapping the adjacent elements if they are in wrong order. The pass through the list, it's repeated until the list sorted. So, as in po, sa pagkakaintindi pa lang natin, yung bubble sort na po is hindi siya titigil hanggat hindi tumatama yung list, hindi nagiging tama yung list. Kumbaga patuloy siyang mag-swap ng mga numbers doon hanggat hindi nagiging tama yung list mo. So, insertion order. Insertion, every iteration moves of an element from unsorted portion to a sorted portion until all elements are sorted in the list. An analogy of insertion sort is the sorting of the deck of the cards into our hands. We select one of card from the unsorted deck and put it in the right order in our hand, so effectively sorting the whole deck. So, ang sabi po dito is parang kukuha tayo ng card, then dun sa random deck, tapos ilalagay natin siya sa right hand natin tapos yung right hand natin is ang kukunin niya lang is yung same order nung card. For example, ang nakuha mo is ace of heart. So kailangan yung nasa right hand mo is ace of heart hanggang king of heart, yun. Quick sort. Quick sort is an effective divide and conquer algorithm. It divides a large list into smaller sublists based on the pivot chosen into smaller and the larger elements. Quick sort then recursively does this to the sublist, finally reproducing a sorted list. So itong quick sort naman po is para siyang mga bar graph ba tawag din? O para siyang bar graph na pinagsusunod-sunod niya yung pinakamaliit hanggang sa pinakamalaki. Kunyari di ba yung kunyari sa natin, sa mga thesis, yung mga research natin is may mga bar graphs na kailangan din, hindi sila naka-arrange. May mataas, yung baba, ganun. So itong quick sort, ang ginagawa niya is i-divide niya i-divide niya sa dalawa yan, kukunin niya sa kabila yung mga mababa, kukunin niya sa kabila yung matataas, then arrange niya mula mababa pataas. Next is merge sort. This is a very efficient comparison based sorting algorithm. It is a divide and conquer algorithm which works by repeatedly dividing the array small parts and merging them again in the sorted order. So sa merging sort naman, kunyari ang number natin is 1 to 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ganun. Then, ang gagawin niya is, yung 8 na yon, di-divide niya sa dalawa. So, magiging 2 per row. Ngayon, pag nakakuha na siya ng 2 per row, i-divide niya ulit yun tas aayusin niya. Kunyari, 1 and 3 yung nasa unahan. Ang gagawin niya, yung number 1, yung ilalagay niya sa una, yung number 3 sa likod. Ngayon, pag nagawa nyo na lahat yun, kukunin nyo ngayon yung kasunod nung 1 dun sa kabila hanggang sa maayos na niya. Selection sort. It is generally used for sorting files with very large records into small key. It select the smallest or largest element in the arrays and remove it and replace the new list. Doing this multiple times would lead to sorted array. So yung selection arrays daw, isa siya sa yung maganda siyang gamitin pang large record. So kapag ginamit niyo yung large record, isa-sort niya na yun from smallest to largest. So kumbaga kung ano yung largest mo dun sa kumbaga sa score, smallest to largest, ganun. Sa price, smallest to largest, ganun din. Ito yung isang example ng bubble sort. Yan, hindi siya naka-order. So, ang gagawin ng bubble sort is i-order niya siya. Swap hanggang sa maging order na siya. Next naman is yung insertion sort. Ito po yung insertion sort. Ito naman po yung selection sort. And next yung quick sort. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na parang barcode. Next nyan is yung merge sort.
Hi everyone, I am Rocha Zada, one of the presenters of this group, and in this part, we're going to tackle about the multiple subscripted arrays. Arrays can have multiple subscripts. A common use of multiple subscripted arrays, also called multidimensional arrays, is to represent tables of values consisting of information arranged in rows and columns. To identify a particular table element, we must specify two subscripts. The first, by convention, identifies the element's rows, and the second, by convention, identifies the element columns. Table or arrays that require two subscripts to identify a particular element are called double subscripted arrays. Two-dimensional array is an array within an array. It is an array of arrays. In this type of array, the position of the data element is referred by two indices instead of one, so it represents a table with rows and columns of data. The array contains 3 rows and 4 columns, so it's said to be a 3 by 4 array. In general, an array with m rows and n columns is called an m by n array. Here is an illustration of a double subscripted array. The letter or the character is the array name. The number 2 there is the row subscript, and the number 1 is the column subscript. It is a double subscripted array with 3 rows and 4 columns, or 3 by 4 array. Consider the example of recording temperatures 4 times a day every day. Sometimes the recording instrument may be faulty and we fail to record data. Such data for 3 days can be represented as a 2-dimensional array. In day 1, the temperature is 34, 32, 28, and 30. In the day 2, 35, 34, 30, and because of the instrument's faulty, it failed to record the data in 4 times. In day 3, the temperature is 30, 28, 32, and 25. The above data can be represented as a 2-dimensional array as below. The data element in 2-dimensional arrays can be accessed using 2 indices. One index referring to the main or parent array and another index referring to the position of the element in the inner array. If we mention only one index, then the entire inner array is printed for that index position. For the sample code, from array import T is equal to the recorded temperature in 3 days. Then print T row 0. Next is to print T row 1 column 2. When the above code is executed, it produces the following result. Of course, we'll see the 34, 32, 28, 30, which is the row 0, and 30 is in row 1, column 2. To print out the entire 2-dimensional array, we can use Python for loop as shown below. We use end of the line to print out the values in different rows. The sample code, from array import T is equal to the temperature recorded in 3 days. For R in T, or C in R, print C and then print. R is equal to row and C is equal to column. When the above code is executed, it produces the following result, which is the recorded temperature in 3 days.
Good day, I am Sheila Cardona. So for today's video, I am going to create a different programs using array. So what is array? An array is defined as a collection of items that are stored at contiguous memory locations. It is a container which holds a fixed number of items, and these items should be of the same type. So I am going to create 7 array programs. So Python does not have built-in support for arrays, but Python list can use instead. So to start, first is simply creating an array containing the names of fruit. For example, is fruit contains a value of apple, banana, and avocado. So we simply print it and run. Then makukuha natin yung list ng fruits. Next. So next is the length of an array. Use the length method to return the length of an array or number of the elements in an array. So the length of an array is always 1 more than the highest array index. So example, return the number of elements in a fruit array. So parang yung number 1 lang din na fruit, which is may value na apple, banana, and avocado. Pero dito sa my length, ang hahanapin ay kung ilan yung elements. So So x is equal to len fruit, then print x and run, which is ang makukuha ay 3 dahil tatlo lamang ang value ng fruit, at kung dadagdagan natin ito ng isa ay magiging 4 ang result. So next, so number 3 is removing array elements. So we can use the pop method to remove an element from the array. Example, delete the second element of the fruit array. So gamitin pa din natin yung code kanina ng mga fruits. Then simply add the fruit dot pop 1, print fruit, then i-run lang natin. At yan ang output. Mawawala yung isang value ng fruit. So, number 4 is we can also use the remove method to remove an element from the array. Example, delete the element that has value of apple. So, fruit is equal to apple, banana, avocado. Then second line, fruit that remove apple. Then print fruit, then i-run natin, so mawawala yung apple. So next is creating a array. Array in Python can be created by importing array module. Array is used to create an array with data type and value. Please specify its arguments. For example, so number 6 is accessing Python array elements. We use indices to access elements of an array. So example,
import array as r, a is equal to r dot array, open parenthesis I, comma 2, 4, 6, 8, close comma, print first element a 0, print second element a 1, print last element a negative 1, close parenthesis, then run.
and the last is slicing Python arrays. We can access a range of items in an array by using the slicing operator.
For example, import array as r, numbers underscore list is equal to open bracket 2, 5, 6, 2, 5, 4, 2, 5, 2, 48, 5. Numbers array is equal to r dot array, open parenthesis I, number list, then print numbers array, and run natin. Then yan yung result. And that's all.